Check, check. There we go. All right, audio's working. What's up, guys? I have not given an update on my trading in quite a while, so I wanted to sit down, do this live stream. I'll be looking at the chat if people want to ask some questions. Oh, we got some big updates. Lots of updates. I mean, it's been a crazy year. 2023 was great. 2024, we got a lot of changes coming down the pipe. So just going to go over those with you guys today. But I want to start off with a little bit of a recap, of where I've been in my trading journey, because I am going to be coming back to doing some weekly updates. And that's kind of, I think, I was streaming from 2021 until 2023. So it was just about 2 years that I was live streaming my trades. Everything was live for you guys to see. There was so much, at the time, if we go back and we can look at the data, but I was trading fairly small when I started back in 2021. It wasn't anything crazy, but there was a lot of information in there and how I found like good risk reward opportunities that you could have, taken and applied to your own trading. This was my October of 2021. It wasn't big at all. A couple good days, back then, $100 in a day was like amazing, incredible. And this was my worst month maybe ever. We had a couple big losing days. November was a little bit better. We started to have some larger days, those $400 days, just trying to keep the risk tight, the losses small. This was a great month for me. And then December, I think I had my first $1,000 day. I remember telling my fiance at the time, I feel it. I know that it's coming. I'm going to get this $1,000 day. We went out. We had a nice Italian dinner that night. That was my first $1,000 day. And that was just about a year after I had started trading. 2020 was my first year trading really seriously in about October. So 1 year later, I hit $1,000 in one day, right? And then if we look at the yearly performance, I think I made, $13,000 in 2021. Performance by month, my best month was that December. So I made $1,000 in one day, but on the month I only made $3,000, right? And again, I started live streaming in the end of October of 2021. So everything from this point on was visible for everybody to see. And then let's just fast forward a year, take a look at 2022. 2022, we leveled up again. We went from 13,000 to 40,000 on the year. And remember, 3,000 was my best month back in 2021. And then 3,000 was like almost my worst month in 2022. Crazy how that works. Right? This period, September, October, November, this has always been kind of slow for me. It was like that in 2021. It was like that in 2022. You'll see what happens in 2023. But in 2022, we had this August, which was crazy, $8,000 in August. I was like, oh my gosh, this is just insane. The ability, I thought there's no way I could like replicate this month over month. This is just, it doesn't even feel real. But if I could replicate $8,000 a month, now we're seriously getting into, do we need a full-time job anymore? We could do this full-time. We could live off of $8,000 a month. And then December, we had a pretty good month. And so let's fast forward here. One more year. Go to 2023. So this is this past year. And now we leveled up again, big time. So we made 40,000 the year before, 155,000 in 2023. It literally does not even feel real. What's up, guys, in the chat? Great Beard Happy. George. What's up, guys? If anybody has questions in the chat, feel free to drop them below. I'll answer the questions at some point. So 2023, we leveled up big time. And remember, 8,000 was like the best month in 2022. And again, similar thing in 2023, where 8,000 was like one of the worst months in 2023. So we leveled up again completely. It like does again, just what the heck? It is crazy how fast, as you gain that experience, you put in the work, these results just come. And again, all of this was live streamed for you guys. October 2021 up until about August of 2023, this was all live. I was live streaming my trades every single day. And so best month of 2023 was right around 30,000. Second best month, about 20,000. And, I don't want to jinx myself, but if we look at 2024, let me just clear this out here. First month of 2024, we're sitting at 23,000. I mean, that's our second best month ever. And I mean, could it be possible that in 2024, 30,000 becomes the new regular? Now, we've had some really good stocks in 2024 so far in January, PHUN being the main one. So, if those opportunities don't present themselves, I think it's hard pressed to say that 2024 is going to end up being like these $30,000 months all the time. But I think, hitting these $15,000 months should be okay. And that gets to one of my biggest updates of 2024 is I am officially a full-time day trader. So we've taken that leap. We don't have a full-time job. I have nowhere backstop anymore. Obviously, I've got savings, but we've taken that leap, and I'm all in on this thing. We're going to make it work. And I've proven to myself over these past 4 years that I can make it work. And I'm confident in my abilities. I know what's possible, and we're going to level it up. We're going to take it to the next level, and I'm going to tell you guys how I'm going to do that in a second. So let me see. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to get through in the data. We could just talk about 2023 really quick. Just crazy year. Here, I think in June is really where I shifted into the sub $1 stocks. I just found so much better risk reward there. You can't swing these big days like, if you guys know Crispy Trades, Relentless Trader, Mighty Stocks, Trading with Tim, Zavy. These guys are swinging these massive, massive days, $10,000, $15,000 days. It's going to be hard to get those when you're trading the sub $1 stocks. But it's consistent, $1,000 a day. Let's take a look at the calendar here quick. January, only one red day so far. 2023, December, at the end of the week there, I wasn't really, I was switching over accounts, so I wasn't really trading on Thinkorswim. I was just doing stupid stuff on above dollar stocks. So that's why I had these 2 red days. But I think one red day a month is probably going to be where I'm at, if any. Going forward, I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on how to just, grind out consistent base hits and wins every day. So pretty good results at the end of the year here, but no more than like 3 red days a month, every month. Pretty good, right? But here's the thing, right? 155,000 a year. And again, if we take the performance that I had at the end of 2024, and guys, also, I don't want to come off conceited when I'm showing these numbers. I don't really think of these as like money. It's more like, this is my points. This is my score. I played this video game for 3 years, 4 years, and this is my score. This is what I have to show for it. These are my leaderboards. And obviously trading's risky. There is a lot of risk that goes into this, and you got to be able to manage that risk. Don't come in expecting you can just do this on day one. It's taken me 4 years, and I put in a lot of work. Again, I live streamed every day for 2 years. All this stuff was visible. I would go back and watch my streams every day. I would be consuming YouTube videos after the close, and I was doing this while working a full-time job. So there's no excuses, right? My day, am I burnt out? Yeah, probably a little bit. I would wake up at 7 because I'm Mountain Standard Time. Wake up at 7. I'm at the desk by 7:15. I'm doing my pre-market prep for 15 minutes. We're trading the open, and then we're working from 9 to 5. And then after the market closes, we're trying to find time to go to the gym. We're eating a healthy meal for dinner, and then we're hitting the recaps. I'm watching back my trading from the morning, at least all of the big trades. or the main areas where, maybe I missed a trade or I had a bad loser or something like that, right? So that's at least 30 minutes, an hour. And then I'm doing scans for the next day. So I'm basically working like a 12-hour day every single day. And that's what it takes, right? So no excuses. Where was I getting at? What was I getting at? I don't really remember. Anyway, oh yeah. It's not about the money. These are the points. But 155,000, that's good. I could live off that, right? And if we can, hopefully we can replicate that this year. And if we have some of these larger months that we had in 2023, after we started trading pennies, 13, if we could just average 14,000 a month, we're sitting pretty, right? We should be able to replicate that in 2024. Assuming there's no changes, Thinkorswim doesn't limit our ability to trade sub $1 stocks. Obviously there's variables, but if it's smooth sailing, we should be good. But here's the thing. This money's nice. But do I want to sit in front of my computer all day? And, I'll show you what the journal looks like here. Do I want to sit in front of my computer all day and be trading these, just scalping these stocks, constantly in and out? I'm sitting at the computer to make this money. I'm sitting at the computer all day. That's what it takes to grind out these P&Ls. It's not just the first hour and a half anymore. So is that really what I want for the rest of my life? Probably not. So I have to find a way to level up again. We've got to take it to the next level. And so the plan for that is compounding. And I know you may have seen it in my tweets. If you follow me on Twitter. If you don't, it's diptraders.net. That's probably where I'm most active these days. Compounding. So if you guys are familiar with like Kulamagi, Mark Minervi, there's Zanger, there's so many other names, big names, Real Simple Ariel on Twitter. There's a bunch of people who do this strategy of trading the highest flyers in the market. And I'll just show you an example of a stock that is a high flyer, NVIDIA, right? This thing bottomed at 100, in October of 2022, and since then is up 600%, right? And it's not like this is some shitty penny stock, because we see that every day. We see some stocks do this in one day, but the amount of liquidity that's in something like NVIDIA, you can get millions, billions of dollars into this thing, and that's what really moves the stock. And you'll see along the way what it ends up having is these nice bases, these nice rallies where it's riding moving averages, basing, getting really tight, breakout, right? And then eventually it's going to ride these moving averages, which is what it's doing now, and then it'll base, and then it'll probably do the same thing. So this is kind of my plan for the next level. This is how we have to evolve. Is I need something to take all the money that I'm earning from my scalping and make that money work for me. And I'm just not a huge fan of throwing my money in the S&P 500. And I know that's probably the best thing to do, because if you look at the DXY, this is the dollar index. I don't know if this is actually showing me. Now this isn't going to show me what I want. But if you look at the value of the US dollar over time, I mean, it's basically like a straight line down. The US dollar just keeps getting devalued and devalued. So if you're holding cash, it's just withering away. It's just burning. You're just burning your cash. And that's on purpose, right? That's what the Fed wants to do. They want to create a controlled level of inflation. That way, it entices people to spend their money and not hold on to it. So that's on purpose, right? But that means we need to be invested if we want to keep up with everybody else. So stocks like NVIDIA, stocks like SMCI, stocks like Meta's been really hot lately. These are the stocks that we need to get in on. We need to be in on some of these ramps, riding these moving averages. And the key here is limiting the downside, just like I do in scalping. The idea is, how can I find the best risk reward opportunity, the best entries, and just ride that trend, keeping my losers small and my winners big. And I know that there's a way to do that. I know it's possible because Kulamagi's done it, Minervi's done it, and they're creating generational wealth doing this. It's not about me. It's about my family. It's about being able to retire my parents. This is like that next level of wealth, and it just provides that freedom. I don't have to come and sit at the desk every day. Obviously, I'm going to want to. I enjoy doing this, and I'm going to have to do my prep to find the stocks and whatnot. But basically, I've been embarking on this journey for the past, 6 months, doing these large caps. Here, I'll show you what that looks like over these past 6 months here. So it's a little choppy, right? We started off, okay, and I'm risking $30 per trade here. $30 per trade, and it was a little choppy at first. I just couldn't get any traction on any of my longs. And I'm riding the moving averages. So if stocks are going up and down, I'm just going to get stopped out of my positions, and it's not going to really work. And then once I get some traction, which is what I got over here, then I've got positions that are going to start working for me and give me these nice ramps. And what I didn't realize at first was I just kept trying to buy the breakouts. If I saw a setup, I was taking it. And even though the market was getting crushed during these periods, if you go back and look what the market was doing in this period here, it was just going straight down. And I was just trying to buy breakouts, fighting the market. And that's something I've learned really quickly is you just can't do that, right? And then the market started to turn. We started to get follow-through days, and my positions were working for me. And we basically went from down $500 to up $200 in that period of time. And then as the market started to pull back, you can see my P&L is basically going flat here because we're not getting any traction on our longs until right now. So if you take a look, this is my swing trading group here, and these are my current positions. And so, I'm doing $30 risk. Apparently, Docu is down 31. That's because probably an after hours move or something like that. So I haven't been stopped out yet. And that was a new long that I put on Friday. But I'm in SMCI. Great entry on SMCI. I'm in OSCR. I'm in app. So just taking a look at what some of these stocks look like. SMCI, I caught this on this breakout day here. It was it wasn't an earnings gap up, but they basically said that the earnings were going to be good. So it had, when is their earnings? It's 129. So this is going to be on Monday, actually. But yeah, I basically got this on the red to green move. So we were risking basically this little wick that you see on the daily here. That's what my risk was. And now we're going to ride this trend against this 9 EMA, which is the daily moving average. And we're going to see how much we get out of it. But look at that. I'm up almost 10R on that trade. Something like OSCR. Let's take a look. This one's been riding these moving averages very nicely. Gets pretty tight. You got a little trend line, which you can't see here, but if I go to like the 10-day, you can see this little trend line. So we enter here on the break. What was my entry? 11.5. So I gapped up this day, and then I got it, I think, on the pullback here, risking the low a day. Really tight risk. And then boom, here we go. It's off to the races. Hopefully this is going to get some more follow through. Hopefully this will be a nice setup for me. And now I'm just going to ride it with the moving averages. We'll take some off maybe on one more day up and trail the rest. So this is the idea. And we've got a decent amount of traction. So I got 330 of unrealized profits right now. And if we come back over here, right, so the cumulative P&L, if I were to close it out right now, would be somewhere up in like the 500 range. And that's the idea, is just capitalize on the market when it's moving up and then chill, put your foot on the brake. If you have a few failed breakouts, stuff, you're not gaining traction on your new positions, you need to chill. You also have to be aware of the sectors that are moving, that are getting strength right now. For example, if we look at our sector list, this is cumulative relative strength right here, this column. So 100 would be the strongest. The strongest right now is going to be the communication ETF. I did not expect that, I'll be honest. But it's been really strong. And why? Because look at the moves that it's made the past few days versus the SPY. The SPY really hasn't gone anywhere. It's had a bunch of distribution days. XLC going pretty much straight up, right? Technology been pretty strong lately. Home builders have been pretty strong lately, although they had a kind of failed follow-through day here. XLF financials have been pretty strong. Biotech, AI's got to be in here somewhere. This is cybersecurity. Anyway, here's AI. So all these sectors are very strong. So what do I want to be focusing on? Well, I want to be focusing on sectors that have a lot of strength, right? And if they get a pullback, I want to be a buyer for that pullback. So that's the idea. That's what we're going to focus on. And it's going to take a lot of work. I've been doing this for about 6 months now, as you can see from these results. And this has been okay. But really what I've done is learned a bunch. I've learned where have I missed the most trades. Like, for example, something like I missed the NVIDIA trade. This was such a clear breakout. It was getting tight right here. And then it shoots up over 500. I think it had news on this day. And, it didn't even look back. It never gave you a chance to enter anymore. If you missed that 500 breakout, it was over. I completely missed this trade. And it's these trades that are really going to make your year. You got to be able to catch these. Something like Uber. This thing's gone straight up. And then it pulls back, gives this tight distribution. And then I didn't enter here. It was lagging something like PanW, which started to break back up earlier. This also is another one I missed, right? But look at this. You've got, if you're risking the low of this day, 281.70, you buy the high, 286. You basically got $5 of risk, and this thing just shoots up. It still hasn't stopped you out against these moving averages. I mean, that's a killer trade. Even at the all-time highs, $5 of risk versus 287. You're still looking at 5-6R when you take your partial at the highs. I mean, oh my gosh. So just killer trade there. Uber, same deal. This one pops back up, and it's just like the market was getting follow through, and I just didn't buy this thing. You got to be in these leading names like Uber. Again, here, I missed this one. Nice descending trend line. You get a nice 3-day pullback right to the moving average. You got to be a buyer on the breakout here for risking the low a day. You got to be. It even gave a nice opening range break. So depending on whether you want to enter over the yesterday's high, you want to enter the opening range break. Look at the risk to reward on this. You enter 64.32 versus the low here, which was 63.70. So you got about 70 cents worth of risk. 70 cents worth of risk with a 64.33 entry, and you're already up just about 2R on the position, a little over 2R. And it's a leading name. And now it's going to trail the moving averages, probably, and continue to go higher. I need to be nailing these entries, right? So that's going to be the key moving forward. I need to be reviewing the trades. I need to figure out where are the ones that I missed. What are the biggest winners that I missed? How can I catch these in the future? Build a system around that. And how can I not get chopped up and just take a bunch of paper cuts during the process? And I know this is possible. I'm going to figure this out. I've been working at it for 6 months. I've already identified a lot of things I can improve on. And my goal is to share that with you guys. So the next step of this process is to live stream every week, once a week, probably on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday or something. I'm going to recap all of the trades that I made from the past week, as well as probably some of the ones that I missed. We're just going to do a full recap, right? Because I think there's information that could benefit you guys, and I just need to do it myself. When I started live streaming my day trading back in October of 2021, I did it for you guys, but I also did it for myself, right? It was good for me to just talk these things out to myself. And then I figured, okay, well, if I'm learning from it, it should be able to help someone else out. And guess what? If you watch the live streams from October 21st to August of 2023, you probably learned something. You probably learned a lot, and hopefully you became as profitable as me, if not even more, right? Because I have a very low risk tolerance, and more so than other people. Let's look at some questions here. Andrea says, now you work only on stock with price under $1. Am I right? If this is right, I would ask why you choose this type of stock. Yeah, if you look at something like FUN, you look at the spread here. This is the spread, right? The difference between the bid and the ask. It's only I mean, this is after close, so it's going to be a little bit wider than it normally would be, but you're looking at 1/5 of a cent is the spread, right? So when I'm getting a trade, I'm expecting to work immediately. My risk is the spread. Well, on a sub-dollar stock, I can risk a lot less because the spread is a lot tighter usually. And that's the main key. That's really it. That's all it comes down to. Nick B, congratulations on your excellent results. What's your main strategy? Just scalping these dollar stocks, stuff like FUPHUN traded what 1.6 billion shares and moved from 14 cents to 48 cents. You're looking at like a 300% move that day. It was just insane liquidity, just crazy. I made like 7,000 in one day. That's my best day ever. But you find these stocks, they're just freaking gold mines. So that's my strategy. Find stocks like this and scalp the shit out of them. Ed S, what's up, man? Great beard. I have Nvidia at 124 since last year in my IRA. Well done, sir. Yeah, I mean, that thing was down so much already. It was down from 300 down to 100, and great little support level here. Just, I mean, it was a good buy. It's a great buy. Congrats. All we do is twin. You've been trading large caps. Yes. Yep. That is the goal going forward. Continue to trade large caps. We got to compound these gains. We got to take what we've been generating as income and turn it into investment returns that hopefully, if you look at Kulamagi, look at Mark Minervi, some of these other guys, the index is moving 15, 20%, maybe 30% on a great year. Call him Q. We'll call him Q. Minervi. These guys, they're bringing in like 100% is like a bad year for them. I mean, the potential on this is just stupid. To be able to take a $100,000 account, $200,000 account, and double it. And that's like a bad year. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to do that on year one. In fact, I'm only trading with $30 of risk per trade, which is a small fraction of my account, because I want the data. I want to practice until I really feel confident about the strategy, where the best risk reward trades are going to be. It's the same thing I did with my scalping. Super, super, super small until I figured out I have the data, and then I have no problem putting size on behind these things, and that's what I'll do. So it's going to be a bit of a grind, and then the other piece of it is right now I'm risking 30% $30 per trade, but eventually I'll risk a percentage of my account, and then it becomes even more tricky because you have to manage where your positions are. You don't have to think about this when you're day trading and scalping because you're in and out, and you can use your full account balance for that, right? But I have to figure out for a swing trade, where do I want to allocate my capital? And if I'm 100% invested, then I can't afford to do any more trades. So I either have to sell something that I own to finance another position, and I also have to figure out, well, which positions are worth the largest piece in my account. For example, like this Nvidia break of 500 here, obviously you want your whole account on this, right? But like, are you going to just be putting on 10% positions and having no discretion as to what your position size is? Or are you going to go 30% on something like this because it's an A+ setup in your mind? Well, what is A+, right? I don't even know what that is. So there's so much learning that needs to be done. And that's why I'm just investing, $30 of risk right now, because there is so much that needs to be figured out before I can really full port my account on some of these things. And again, I'm not going to full port my account on any one position, but we got to figure out what makes sense as far as a percentage of the account to risk on these things, right? RM, brother, your scalping is going so well. Why change? I'm still going to scalp, right? That's my income. I'm going to still be scalping all day. But these things, and that's another thing that I should explain, is this is not something that I need to really watch intraday, right? I'm going to set my price levels. For example, something like Uber. Yeah, maybe if you're watching it, you could catch this opening range break, which is really nice. But what I'm going to be doing is on Uber, just taking a position here at the break of the prior day high, and I'm going to be risking the low of the prior day high. Now, if I see this open up and I go, okay, well, what I might see is I'm filled on the position, and then I might check the low a day, see the opening range, and go, oh, well, I'm not going to actually risk the low here. I'm going to risk this low, and then I'm just going to go buy more and set my risk below this daily low. Right. So the intraday, what I need to do intraday for this strategy, very, very minimal. I'm going in every night after the market close. I'm finding my stocks. I'm doing my scans. I've got a bunch of scans here. Maybe I'll go through them with you guys at some point. These are all stocks that I'm watching. This is another scan, stocks that have based for 5 days. And these are stocks that I'm just going to go put my order in on, right? Like something like S. I don't think I'm going to take this trade, but like, nice pullback to the MA. Same thing as Uber, except there is not really a market leader like Uber is. But I'd take an entry, I'd put an order at the high of this candle, risking the low of this candle, and basically the moving averages, and we just let it ride, right? And it just works itself out intraday. So I'm focused on scalping intraday. That's my income. That's the income generation there, and then we parlay that money that I make from the income into the investment side, and that's going to be this strategy. And so the goal is by the end of the year, we could start investing at least a percentage of my full account, trying to grow that. MAG Capital, will you ever come to London? I'm a fan. I've been to London once. It's not on my list, I'll be honest. And we got a lot of life events coming up here. Getting married in June, honeymoon, got a couple other weddings to go to, and just going to be focusing on the trading. So I don't know if I'll ever make it to London, man. I'm sorry, but if you're ever in Denver and you want to hit me up, I'd be happy to get a coffee with you, go snowboarding, whatever you want to do, disc golf, we do it all. So. George, thoughts if Schwab doesn't go with TD rules? Well, right now, I have friends who are scalping through Schwab, and they're having no issues. So my hope is that Schwab's not going to change anything. It is possible that once Schwab acquires TD, they start making changes, they implement commissions under $1 or whatnot. I mean, that would be bad. And I would basically have to go find another job. I mean, there's no way around it. Because I'm not going to be able to just switch over to the above dollar stocks and do the same thing that I'm doing right now. I was doing okay at the beginning of 2023, doing mostly above $1 stocks, but it's not like what I'm doing now. It would not be able to finance my lifestyle. So that would not be good, but it is what it is. Q lost money in 2022, but made tons of money in 2021. Yeah, exactly. I mean, in 2020, if you look at, the SPY and what it did, here was the start of 2022. I mean, it basically went straight down. And so that's another piece of it, is finding short positions to hedge your longs. And if you can short and be primarily short, then you can actually probably do fairly well during this period. So that's another thing that, I'll have to work towards. All right. So going forward, let me know if there's any other questions in the chat. But going forward, the goal is to do live streams every week, either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It probably depend on what the weekend looks like and whatnot. But going through the trades, what those trades looked like, what they did, why I entered, why I got out, any trades that I missed, best setups of the week. So it should be pretty educational, at least if you're looking to get into large caps. And I do feel like I have a pretty good grasp on what is a good setup, what am I looking for. What I don't have a great grasp on yet is how to parlay that into the sector strength and just like in general, how the market is moving. When should I be putting risk on positions versus pulling back. Like something like Nvidia, yeah, I don't know. At the time, I just didn't feel like this was something I wanted to be touching. But you know, these are things that I'm going to learn over time, and hopefully we're going to learn. And again, you know, I stopped live streaming my day trading, and at some point I'll probably stop live streaming this as well. But for the near future, the goal is to learn myself, but also help you guys if other people are interested in this strategy, to help other people maybe just get awareness of it, and figure out a good place to start. And if you have ideas, obviously you can send them to me, put them in the Discord. You can join the Dip Traders Discord if you want. Maybe we'll make a channel for the swing trading stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to embarking on this journey. I think I'm going to exit out of this live stream, and I'm immediately going to start another live stream. And that one is going to be the first weekly recap. And I'm going to go through some of the trades that I did this past week. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And hopefully some of you will be with me on this next part of the journey. All right. Take it easy.